Here we go.
That was just for us.
That was for us. This is for you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from undisclosed location number 1 and 2. One of us in Matawan, one of us in another part of Middlesex County. Not that I think any of you guys are going to go come find me, but I've said some things, so I don't know. I don't know if I can trust everybody.
You've also probably given out where you live on the show before.
No, yeah, I just always consider myself like I'm a Woodbridge guy or I'm a Fords guy, but never did I give my address. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But anyway, welcome to the show. And of course, Gooch, Merry Christmas Eve to you and to you and yours and everybody at home and everybody watching, everybody coming on in here, trickling in. I know Danny was early. He was here about 10 minutes early. He said, if you're not on time, if you're on time, you're late. So that's a thing. I'm getting a little choppy over here on my end. Why not? Because that's usually what happens at a time like now. I was excited.
Yeah, dude, we were good. We were all good. We just sat in the room in the studio for like 25 minutes, have our pre-show meeting, and there was not one lag.
I know, not one lag whatsoever, but here we are. But anyway, there was a lot of football to get to today. Obviously, it is a feel-good football Friday here on the Chop Sports Daily. And of course, last night, we'll get right into it because it was just abysmal. But we both picked the 49ers going into this one. We both said that, the running game and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and Jimmy G and all this other stuff, we all got excited about it. But here we are. We're looking at a 20-17 Titans win. Unbelievable. Chris.
I'd like to revisit a conversation that we had some time ago. I believe it was yesterday where I said that Trey Lance is going to sit another full season behind Jimmy G. But after watching, and you know me, dude, I give you a hard time a lot about how you might react off of one game. Right. But that one game in particular yesterday with Jimmy G, he just looked, I don't know if he's injured or he's just scared.
He's just bad at football.
My goodness, man. He cost me a lot of money yesterday. The 49ers slapped on the first half, thank God. But Jimmy G there was about 7 or 8 throws in that game that he missed. And that's the difference. They were blowing him out early. Even Kyle said in the group chat, he was like, this one might be a blowout. I even contemplated laying an alternative line at that point, and thank God I didn't. But
yeah, I mean, obviously it's I don't know, it's not cool for Jimmy G to do that to us. Danny coming in, Merry Christmas Eve, fellas. How about them Cowboys? And of course, Dina, the pick bitch, our producer, we miss you. We'll get back to the studio ASAP for you to get to work. But yeah, this is what Danny was saying before. If you're on time, you're late. So all of a sudden, Danny is Tom Coughlin. So he's going to start fining people for being late. But he says, how about them Cowboys, not just as a Cowboys fan, but with yesterday's loss, I don't know if everybody's aware, but the Dallas Cowboys have clinched a playoff spot because the Tennessee Titans beat the 49ers. Whether it be the common opponents ordeal or whatever the case may be, the Dallas Cowboys have clinched a playoff spot. So they will be in the dance. I know it took us 4 days.
Yeah, what took you guys so long? We've been sitting in the playoffs for about a week now. That's what real teams do. So I don't know, man. Okay, get on my level, Dave. No, congratulations. It's good for you guys. It's big for the Cowboys. It's big for the NFL. As much as the Cowboys Nation thinks that the NFL hates you guys, in reality, they kind of do want you in the playoffs because it's big money. And absolutely. I'm happy to end Mike McCarthy's season as well as Dave's in about 3 to 4 weeks.
I mean, I don't know, man. I just okay. I'll just at this point, I'll leave it and I'll say okay.
No, I mean, we got to talk a little bit of shit. We got to have fun with it. Obviously, we both know who the better team is, so
so there's no fun with it. It's just
poking the bear.
It's poking the bear on. It's Christmas Eve, man. Come on. But dude, first of all, did you ever think? I mean, you probably did. You had some inkling of this. What?
I'm glad that Ken Pullman said that. I was going to say it, but I was worried that the same very person that actually made this comment was going to call me out on being a homer. But that is Vince Lombardi's thing. If you're not 15 minutes earlier, that whole thing. Coughlin stole that from St. Vince.
St. Vince. I went to college with a Vince Lombardi. I don't know if anybody. It's weird, and I always asked him in college. I'm like, "Yo, relation? No." It's like that's just weird.
There is a few Lombardis around the Jersey area that are related. Obviously, Vince Lombardi is from New Jersey.
I had a psychopath of a professor who used to tell me every time, like she had to be senile and or Alzheimer's, something just dementia. I don't know. But it was every time she would announce that he was there, like, Dave Sturchio here, Vince Lombardi here, and then he'd be like, do you know Vince Lombardi is buried in Garfield, New Jersey? It's like every time, never failed. But anyway, yeah. So my opinion is wrong, Dave. Okay, opinion on what? Oh, my opinion is wrong. Oh, so that's basically, I think he's calling you out on that one, Gooch, saying like, I'm putting out my opinion. It's always wrong. That could be also wrong.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. So the feud is back on, Danny.
The feud is back. So Ken Palmer coming in. Niners were on the up and ups. Titans sent that right to the moon, or the turlet, he says. Packers giving up over 30 points a game in the past 4 defense. Oh, here we go. So
we're not talking about the Packers yet.
And not yet.
God we get Boo-hoo Baker in town this week.
Had we been in studio, Kyle would have been a chopped sauce Friday. But he doesn't know technology, obviously, and he says that he can't figure that out. So,
if you look at his videos, you could really tell that Kyle has no idea how to work anything.
Dude, first of all, when he sits down in studio, he like sits down, and then everybody just crowds around him. Like, okay, sir, we gotta mic you up, sir. Here you go, sir. Here comes the. It's like, what are we doing here? But yeah. So Kyle's not with us, but he will be in the chat, obviously.
I'm hoping that. I think I know who Kyle's fraud team is.
He said he was going to make an announcement.
He said he had an announcement for Friday's show, so hopefully he brings up his fraud team in the chat. I have 3 teams listed here, and obviously that I think are potentially Kyle's fraud teams. I'm not going to name them yet.
Kyle, don't name them yet.
I will write them down.
Well, let's put a bow on this 49er game. I mean, as far as them losing, they were on the up and ups, and now they have to be careful. I don't think you updated their records because that's 15
I did not,
games.
Dave.
Huh?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so they're 8-7 right now, and now dropped to under 500 against the spread. Congratulations. But now the biggest story is the Titans. I saw yesterday, according to Cynthia Freeland, who I adore more than pretty much her and Jane Slater are like 1A for me. But I have to say that there's a stat going around saying there was a 95% chance, even after last night's win, that the Titans win the AFC South. Now, is that because they beat them twice? Is that
this is what I've been. This is what they probably watched the show a couple.
Yeah, they probably
saw my stat where I said it doesn't really matter. The Colts, while they're playing better, they did lose 2 already, and they were 2 back, and I think that was with 5 to play. So it was going to be tough to overcome the Titans, especially when they beat the team like the 49ers, who we thought were one of the teams on the Titans' remaining schedule that they would kind of stumble against. Ryan Tannehill showed up in the second half. What can we say?
That one run, I was like disappointed. I was like, where is everybody? Like, why can't you stop this guy? He's not Michael Vick. Like, please, for the love of God, put him on his ass. I got to ask you, though, Gooch, with the Titans doing what they're doing, right? They're 10-5 now. And then, obviously, the Colts, we'll talk about the Colts in a little bit. Who do you think is the more feared opponent if you're lining up across the Titans or the Colts? Who do you not want to play more?
I think the Colts have more ways to beat you. If Tannehill plays the way he played yesterday and A.J. Brown back and things like that, then you could obviously see the Titans they need A.J. Brown to be going in that offense to be what they were yesterday. But in the first half, you saw what the Titans were doing. They weren't doing anything. So it's a tale of 2 teams with them. And they do play physical at times, but they have big-time lapses. I'd rather play the Titans. I just fear them a little bit less. Jonathan Taylor's that guy. He's that dude. And I think that the Colts have a more turnover-prone defense, meaning like they'll force more turnovers. Darius Leonard's a stud. I'm more worried about playing against the Colts, if I'm being real.
A running game is when you establish a running game in this league, that makes you just that much more dangerous.
I think the Colts have the ability to go on the road a little bit better than the Titans do as well. So
I agree.
I don't think that them not winning the division is going to be a major issue for the Colts.
All right. Well, listen, the 49ers got their hands full now. They got to win some games going down the stretch. They should have not tripped up on this one. Jimmy G's got some serious issues he's got to work out because at one point, swear to God, me and my brother are texting each other during that game last night. He laid money on the Titans, by the way, the money line. So he was feeling good about his, I almost say former team, but he did pull for the Titans once upon a time with the Kevin Dyson related Titans. But I will say this, at one point of this game, I was texting Danny and I said, look, the 49ers, if they get rolling, if they get their running backs back, Debo keeps playing the way he is, George Kittle keeps playing the way he is, they're going to be hard to stop. And then we just watch Jimmy G just implode. Like, I don't understand how that just happens so fast. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, the Titans, you got to give credit sometimes to the defense, but there was a few of those plays. I always say his name wrong. The Juszczyk seam route, like he was wide open. Jimmy G, you just simply can't miss on certain throws. The Ayuk pass on 4th down where he was wide open. All he had to do was turn and, fall down forward for 3 yards and get the first down. There was several plays in that game where Jimmy G just cost them. And in a game that's that close on the road, you can't afford to make those mistakes. And the turnover deep in their own territory was obviously the difference in the game. There was a few other times the pick in the end zone. So Jimmy G, you just got to get it together. I listened to Shanahan talking after the game, and he wasn't happy, man. Like usually you don't hear a coach call out a player, let alone the quarterback, right after the game to the media. And he was just like, yeah, I mean, like there was several really, really bad plays, and you can't get away with those in this league, especially in December. Jimmy G, man, I blame him for everything yesterday. You saw me in the chat. Everything that went wrong for the 49ers was it culminated from something Jimmy G did wrong on the other end.
And just so everybody knows, and if you're aware of this, if for whatever reason all those 7-7 teams right now win based off the tiebreakers after this, so there's a couple 7-7 teams. There's the Vikings, there's the Eagles, and there's somebody else in that mix, right? If they all win this week, the Niners dropped to 8. They are out of the playoffs. So like that's something I saw that was kind of alarming, that all of a sudden they were the steamrollers, potential threats to win the NFC West, because all of a sudden people were reeling, and now they might not make the dance at all. It's just crazy how this is such a week-to-week thing. And
I'm not going to lie. I really, as much as we've kind of had their number over the last couple of years, the 49ers, I don't want to see them in the playoffs because they have Debo, they have Kittle. They do have some things.
Basically went out to get there. So we'll see if it happens.
It's not that I shouldn't say I don't want to see them. It's just that I prefer to not. I'd rather the Eagles or some one of those teams get in.
I agree. Scoopaloop saying, what other sports company have their regulars on Christmas Eve? You're right, because if you go and listen to WFAN or ESPN, everybody's on vacation right now. And here we are making things happen here on Chop Sports. So make sure you hit subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Our opinions are completely valid. And so at least go with that. Let's see, JD. I was at the game when Jimmy G threw the first interception. The long snapper went over to Robbie Gould with face of disgust. I was at the game when Jimmy G threw the first interception. Oh, maybe he was at the game last night. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But in any event, Jimmy G looked like crap. And now the 49ers could be on the outside looking in after this week. But there is football to be played this week. We're here. It's week 16 already. Depressing and exciting all at the same time. I say that every week because the football season's getting long and it's almost running out. It's almost playoff time. We do get the extra week this year, so the season will be prolonged a week. But again, it's gonna be here and gone before you know it. As we start with the Saturday games, usually we start with the Packers and the Cowboys games, but we'll start with the Saturday games first. As which the Green Bay Packers are hosting the Cleveland Browns. It's a 7.5 line. I think it's appropriately spread right now, considering everybody's back for the Packers, or a lot of guys are coming back for the Packers. Their defense is finally coming on. The Browns, however, not everybody back, but again, they're trickling in. You said it last night in the chat, Gooch, that I made a joke saying like the Packers are going to trip up this week, and you're saying that the Browns are struggling on the injury front.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Tack McKinley's out for the season with a ruptured Achilles. That's never a good thing. I'm not disappointed because it's good timing of it. Obviously, I don't root for injuries. But, yeah, Jadeveon Clowney, they're saying that there's I would say a 60-40 chance as of yesterday morning. I haven't looked since then that he's not going to play. They just don't think he's going to be able to clear the COVID protocol in time with the short week. And then Garrett Miles, everybody's
Garrett, try again.
Wow, what did I just do? I only smoked once. But anyway, Myles Garrett, him, that guy, he's got a groin. And if you saw the fourth quarter, the fourth quarter of the Raider game, he really wasn't himself. It's obviously comes at a great time for us because our offensive line still hasn't gotten healthy. Bakhtiari probably won't come back. You were talking about us getting healthy. We are getting a little bit healthier, but I still think that they're going to end up holding these guys out, the Jairs, the Za'Darius, and the Bakhtiari, because it's
things
more
are
important
already. So now it's like,
yeah, the division's clinched, and Cleveland coming to Green Bay, they're in a tough spot. They have their own set of injuries. There's no need to rush any of these guys back. He has two
probably groins.
Yeah, he does have two groins, but you guys all know what I'm talking about. He has a bum groin. He's dealing with a bum groin, and he wasn't himself. So him at 80% is a lot better than most guys, but 80% is 80%. This is the NFL, so it's going to be tough. He's going to give it a go.
How do you feel about the confidence from our big bad Ben Wexler coming in? This line should be way more than 7.5.
I agree.
Browns look horrible. He said
I think by
it should be 14. I mean, that's
by kickoff. This might be a little higher. So if you want to jump on it now, I would say maybe do that. But Baker, they're saying, is probably going to play. I'm not sure that matters. You guys all know my opinion on Baker.
I think everybody, you know what it is, Gooch? I think everybody shares the same opinion about Baker Mayfield. It's just like some want to be vocal about it and some just want to just leave it alone. You know,
well, I just think he's not good. Whether you like the way he,
I don't know if anybody thinks he's actually good at this point, to be honest. Like,
yeah, they don't really have the pass catchers right now. Their run game is their only thing that they're able to do. But if Aaron Rodgers could come out and do what he's not really been able to do early, the Packers have been slow starters this year. I think that they haven't scored a touchdown in like 9 games in the first quarter, which is kind of alarming if you look at their record. But hopefully there's a little breaking of that trend this week and Rodgers could get out to an early start. And I think it'll be real difficult for Cleveland to come back with their style of play. So
Gina coming in from the Sauce Network saying all the money on Green Bay for days and the line has not moved at all. So that's where she's coming in. That's coming technically vicariously through Kyle and of course everybody that works over at the Sauce Network. We got JoJo coming in, touchdown maker. Baker, touchdown maker. I don't know about all that. But I'm going to, I guess, pick the game, Gooch. I mean, this is kind of silly for me to even ask you at this point, but you're picking the Packers. I, too, am going to roll with the Packers. I am hard rooting for the Cleveland Browns to win this game because if Dallas, for whatever reason, gets their win this week and a couple other things fall their way, a 4-way tie between all 4 of these teams, or at least a 3-way tie between the Packers, Cowboys, and Bucks, that would go to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys will move up to the 1 seed if that happens. So that can potentially happen, but I'm going to pick the Packers because I'm not going to sit here and lose more games behind you. I'm already going into the week down 4 games. We put a poll up on Chop Sports Instagram in which not a lot of people believe in my abilities to make this comeback. So mostly it was Ashley and 18 of her burner accounts voting for you. So I'm assuming that that's why I couldn't make a run here. But anyway, she's coming in. Hi, baby. How you doing, Ashley?
Hi, baby.
Hope all is well. So shake and bake, touchdown maker JD coming in. So I'm going to roll with the Packers as well. Like I said, I don't think, as much as I want the Browns to win, I don't know if they're in this game. I just think it's going to be one of those Saturday night, like, Rodgers already said it, you know, like what better way to spend Christmas than on, you know, it's going to be one of those games where we're going to be talking about this game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this one's going to be a hallmark game where it's going to be like, where were you when Rodgers threw 5 touchdowns on Christmas Day? You know what I'm saying?
I could get behind that.
That's where I think
Packers had their wake-up call last week, and they ended up getting a W out of it, which is a beautiful thing in December. I love when those things happen. What's going on?
All right. So we'll move it on to the Colts and the Cardinals, the other game on Saturday. This is the nightcap. This is the one that, you know, I'm excited to see this game because, again, the line is very close, very close. I think one team is trending in the one direction and one team is completely trending in the different direction. I'll start with this one. Give me the Colts on the road. I think the Colts and their running game are just that much better of a football team than the Cardinals right now. The Cardinals are reeling. They were Sauce's frauds of the week last week. I think that's the play. I don't think that I think the Cardinals are going to show the Rams that the Rams have life in the NFC West by losing another game. Kyler Murray, man, I'm telling you, without his main guy, and people get on Dak Prescott when he didn't have his main guys, and they really gave it to him hard. And I'm thinking that they're gonna start pressing down on Kyler Murray when he's not going to be able to have his weapon in DeAndre Hopkins. Give me the Colts all day in this one, Gooch.
Yeah, I've just talked about how I think they have a really good chance of winning games on the road this year, and I'm going with the Colts in this one as well. The best way to beat team speed on defense is to run it directly at them, and that's exactly what the Colts are going to do. Michael Pittman's a physical presence outside that I'm not sure the Cardinals really are going to be able to deal with that either. They're very fast, but I think that the Colts just present certain issues. I think the point spread is garbage in this game. I guess it's what it should be, but
basically a pick 'em.
Yeah, it's basically a pick 'em. You would imagine that I guess it's exactly what it should be because the Colts have been playing really well. The Cardinals haven't looked great.
And then you look at their records.
But at the same time, it does have me a little worried because 96% of money on the Colts. Yeah, this does have me a little bit worried because the Cardinals are coming off a drubbing of the Lions or getting drubbed by the Lions. So it kind of makes me feel like they're trying to trap you here with this one. So I'm going to pick the Colts here, but I'm going to have a conversation with a couple people before I actually lay some money on this one. But I feel like the smart money is going to go on the Cardinals here.
Oh, all right. Moving on to the Sunday slate.
You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
You're taking the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll have
Give
to
you a
make
shot.
an adjustment here. Gooch with cards. Switch on the old notes here right before. So listen, take the cards. That's cool. So staying on the local front, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at home, 7-7 versus the abysmal New York Football Giants. Look, there's obviously the Giants have nothing to play for. They've also shut down Daniel Jones. They're now playing for their own pick, I guess. Like there's a lot of factors that go into this that nobody cares to even go out there and show out. I mean, look, they lost last week 21-6 to a Cowboys team that wasn't clicking. You know what I mean? The Cowboys were not clicking, and they still couldn't score any points. As of right now, I think it's Glennon again until they give Jake from State Farm the first team reps, but I don't think it's going to happen. The number's kind of big, but the Philadelphia Eagles are in must-win mode. I think they wipe the floor with the Giants. Give me the Eagles -10.
It's tough, man. I mean, I went against Philly last week. This is actually the only team in the league, I think, that's coming on back-to-back home games. I think Philly is the only team in the entire league this week with back-to-back home games. You hear what I said?
Yes.
And Washington, lucky for you, is the only team in the league with back-to-back road games this week.
But they'll bring their benches, so it's okay.
Yeah, I guess they will, but Dallas's benches are legit, so maybe they won't to Dallas. It's not
right.
really a cold weather
stadium.
stadium.
We're not going above and beyond to make sure.
I don't know if that stat has anything to do with this football game. I just thought it was interesting, and I'm going to probably take the Giants in this one. Philly laying 10 points or more in a division game back-to-back weeks. The Giants getting 10 points or more back-to-back weeks in division games. I just don't think that it's going to happen twice. So I'll go with the Giants based on that.
Wow. I that's exciting. I like the fact that the last two games were different. This is where I make my run, Gooch. The Giants, according to Ben Lecter, suck something awful.
Yeah, but they're only getting 10. Why?
What?
I said, yeah, they suck something awful. Mike Glennon's the quarterback, but they're still only getting 10 points. It's going to be close, I think.
If the Jets and the Jets win and the Giants lose, they're tied for the worst team in the NFL in the past, I think, 5 years. They have something to play for. I'll tell you right now, and I said this to a comment to one of Wexler's comments when I said the Cowboys last night on Facebook. I said the Cowboys clinched the division, and he put up the Fox spotlight thing where it said nobody cares. I was like, well, I think the Cowboys fans care. It's not my fault that your team has lost 10 plus games ever since the boat trip. They have not won at all. They've lost 10 plus games every year since the boat trip. So blame Odell Beckham for that one. Moving on. Big game here. Chiefs, Steelers coming up. I want to say that both of these teams, like the Chiefs have put themselves in a position to kind of solidify that they're going to win the West, right? This is probably going to happen over the next 2 weeks. The Steelers, I put dead in the water. I put that they weren't going to make the playoffs because of the fact that they had that one less win. And then they gained it, right? And now they're looking at the division as one less loss. But I think this is where it gets flipped again. The Chiefs are playing good, man. The Chiefs are playing very good football. At 8.5 is a large number against a team that is absolutely desperate to win. I'm still going to ride with the Chiefs here, man. I mean, I know they're down Tyreek Hill, and I know they're down their kicker, but this is one of those games. I don't even know about Kelsey, but you know what, though? You know what? You pick this one. I'm going to debate in my head about this one. Where are you going with this one, Gooch?
Well, that might be the I don't want to pick now. No, you pick. The fuck? You're gonna base it.
It was your turn, pick? Man. I gave it to
you.
All
right, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I guess because it's do or die. I'm gonna go with you.
8.5. I mean, I might regret this, and I might end up betting Kansas City, but right now I'm taking Pittsburgh. It's just too many points for me to give.
Yeah, I like this a lot of points, and I know. Look, the Chiefs are riddled right now with COVID stuff. I'm gonna ride with you on this one. I was kind of back and forth, but give me the Steelers.
The Chiefs have been really good against the spread lately, and they started off really shitty. I think things will even out a little bit.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh.
All right, likewise. I'll start with this one. Don't worry. We'll go back and forth, but this is a very, very big game. This is the season for the opportunity to win the AFC East. And when I say that, the winner of this game is more than likely going to wrap that up, in my opinion, based off the next couple of weeks schedule. But the Patriots have a chance to do it right now with the potential rookie of the year on their roster. This game's in New England. The Buffalo Bills have not played up to their potential the last couple of weeks. They won last week because, despite everything, or despite not having a running game and all that jazz, you go into New England in December. And while I know it's literally in the same area as where Buffalo plays, right? But the New England fan base, I think they right the ship here. I think Belichick starches homeboy again, McDermott one more time. Give me the Patriots at home -2.
When I'm looking at the matchups in this game, all the matchups point towards New England. Buffalo doesn't run the football, and that's New England's biggest weakness on defense. They're hard to throw the football against. They get to the quarterback well. I just think Buffalo, I don't know, man. Buffalo's in a desperate spot. I think that football is going to get real good down the stretch. McDermott, while he did make an asshole of himself after the Patriots game, they're going to be playing hard for him. And you got to imagine in this one, because he kind of laid it all on the line after the last one. I'm going to go with Buffalo, man. The point spread's only 2. I'll probably Buffalo money line this one and get it, plus 125. But yeah, I like Buffalo in this one. I'm going to give you another opening, Dave.
Oh boy. If I'm going to make my run, it's going to be this week.
I've been picking the Patriots every week too.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're 9-5 against the spread. They're doing well. But what I will say is that we've picked already the amount of games to basically, if we go like chalk the rest of the way, I think you can probably like clinch, or I can catch you. Like that, it's going to be that kind of week for Christmas.
No, we're going to end up tying again, because it's just you're going to win half. I'm going to win the other half.
That's just the way it works, man. All right. Well, it's an exciting game. Looking forward to it. The Vikings getting back home at 6-7 to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Now the Rams know what's in front of them. They could potentially jump to the top of the NFC West with a Cardinals loss. They could be tied record-wise, and you can go back to head-to-head and all that junk when you want. But when you look at this game on the surface, the Rams are definitely playing a little bit better football. The Vikings have been frauds since jump for me. I'm sorry. They still are frauds for me. I believe they're 7-7, though, if I'm not mistaken, on the record-wise. They're 7-7. They're 500. This is the game that the Rams go out there. They shell out. Dude, I don't know if you know this or probably read this. Cam Akers off a torn Achilles is coming back.
Yeah, it wasn't a full tear. It was just a partial tear.
Incredible.
Yeah, I stashed him in a couple dynasty leagues. So
yeah,
shout out to Cam Akers. Makes the Rams better maybe, because they could use him. But that's not going to happen until the playoffs anyway. As far as this game goes, I don't see Minnesota winning, because as I've been stating for the past couple weeks, they're the best team in football history, under 500, and right now they're at 500. So they have to maintain that stability, and they're going to lose again, drop to under 500, rehang the banner. I don't know if the Rams are going to cover it. Almost think that it's going to be a good game, and they're going to lose it in overtime with a massive over, like 37-34 or something like that. But I'm going to go with the Rams because fuck Minnesota.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Rams as well, as I just pretty much explained to myself. Ben thinking that Rams murder the Vikings. Give me Kirk Cousins. You like that, JD, coming out there. Bills win big. Mac Jones is going to have to throw this time. So maybe that's a thing. That might also be influenced by his bet. He showed me a nice little parlay ski that he has last night. So he might have already picked those guys. But anyway, moving on. Raiders and Broncos.
Well, maybe his bet was influenced by what he just said.
That's probably what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Who's that, your brother?
What?
Was that your brother?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
All right. So 7-7 across the board. We got some lucky sevens here. The Raiders, the Broncos, 7-7 versus 7-7. Las Vegas gets back home. The loser of this game can pretty much wave bye-bye to any playoff aspirations. The Raiders are home. They're favored by a 1.5. Gooch, how do you feel this one's going to play out?
Oof. I like the Broncos in this one. The Raiders can't stop the run that well. I'm going to go with Denver on the road. For that reason, the Raiders just don't do enough things well. I think that when they win very sloppy. You saw they barely got by Cleveland last week, or did Cleveland beat them? No, they barely got by Cleveland last week. They scored early and didn't score the rest of the game. Denver just plays really good defense. We talked about Simmons being probably the biggest snub on the Pro Bowl, and that running game, man. I think Denver's going to come out and play real good football this week. You obviously all know how I feel about Denver and the running game. I just think that the opening is there for them to go on the road, run football, and beat up on Oakland or Las Vegas.
Well, there's not going to be any Teddy Bridgewater. We know that for a fact. It is going to be the Drew Lock show. And for that, I think there's going to be a little bit more juice in the building. I don't know what it is about Drew Lock. I've always liked him. But just a testament to your running game conversation. Javonte banged up, Melvin banged up. It didn't matter last week. They were both banged up, and they still ran the rock relatively well. The Raiders don't stop the run. The Raiders are kind of in a rut right now. I know they won their game last week, which was great, with Daniel Carlson with the walk-off, but I think that's the last feel-good story you're going to get out of this team led by an interim coach. I just think the running game.
Yeah, Darren Waller's not himself. If he's even going to play,
things are different in Las Vegas. It's not as it's not as juicy right now. So unfortunately for Dina's sake, I know she's a Raider girl, but I think the Raiders dropped this one to the Broncos. Sorry, Dina. All right, moving on to a game that doesn't matter about standings wise, but both New York teams are going to be like really watching this one close. The line is 6.5. The Seahawks are home hosting the Chicago Bears. Okay. The reason why there's such a big, viewership of this game in the New York area, the Jets have the Seattle pick, the Giants have the Bears pick. So both of these teams will be rooting obviously the opposite way for a better draft pick. I don't really know what to say about this game. I think the wind was sucked right out of Seattle last week as far as their ability to win games. I said this to my dad the other day. I think DK Metcalf might be turning out to be some kind of a bust, unless it's just, I don't know. He's got the physical presence. Don't get me wrong. He's got the makeup to be like Thor. You know what I mean? Like he's a monster, right? But it just, I don't know. Maybe it's him and Russ. I don't know what's wrong with this team. And for that, I'm going to ride with Justin Fields and the Bears plus 6.5 here on the road in Seattle. This is a game I don't love my pick, but I'm just because I think the Seattle Seahawks kind of, took the wind out of their own sail by losing.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle on this one. I still believe that Russell Wilson has something to prove because he's hearing all the chatter about him not being a legit quarterback anymore. We've heard that from our own. The Sauce Network has been talking shit about Russ. He's been tweeting about him saying, like, is it okay to even mention this yet? But is Russell Wilson a legitimate NFL quarterback? You're talking about DK Metcalf as a potential bust. There is at least something to coach when we're talking about Seattle. He could put bulletin board material and say, look, Russ, you're not a real quarterback anymore. DK, you're a bust. Obviously, we all know that everybody watches our show. So Pete Carroll probably saw what we were talking about, and he's going to his team now, and Seattle has something to play for because they're a prideful team. They've won a lot of football games in Seattle with this regime, and I would like to see them go out there and just embarrass the Bears, get Matt Nagy fired, even though I would like them to hold on to Nagy another year as a Packer fan. It's just really bad in Chicago. They want him gone. I think he's lost the locker room. Yeah, Chicago's not a good team. Justin Fields, I haven't seen him do enough at all to believe that he's worthy of me picking Chicago. I picked them last week. I won't do it again.
All right, another game that we disagree on. So there's some serious movement going to happen this week. I firmly believe that. We're moving on. Chargers and the Texans in Houston, like that matters. The Chargers are favored by 10. Now, this is a big number. I don't like double-digit spreads in the NFL because I feel like every team could beat every team no matter what, right? I guess I'll start with this one. I guess I don't know if it's my turn or not, but the Texans are now in the hunt for number one overall pick. What they turn that into, that's up to them. Again, no quarterbacks have really been banging the door down, but by March, April, there's going to be guys that jump up into that top 5 thing where the Texans are going to be looking for a quarterback if they don't want to do anything with Deshaun Watson. We still don't know what the hell is going on over there, so I really couldn't tell you. The Chargers, on the other hand, are looking to not win the West because I don't think that's going to happen, but they are playing good football. Justin Herbert's playing good football. That was a great overtime game against the Chiefs last week. I know they lost, came up on the losing effort, but their offense is clicking. Eckler is out of this game, so that's kind of, yes, it kind of worries me, but Keenan Allen just got voted to the Pro Bowl. He's having a hell of a year. I think the Texans secondary just never lives up to the billing. Give me the Chargers in a very, very big win here. I don't love it. I hate the number, but give me the Chargers on the road.
Yeah, the Texans got the Mills Mafia. Davis Mills is just not a capable quarterback. I think he's pretty much got named the starter the rest of the way. Brandon Cooks is out. I don't know if they have any weapons. Who's their running back? Philip Lindsay?
No, he's gone. It's been like David Johnson or a bunch of
guys Royce Freeman. Royce Freeman.
Freeman.
Chargers are the frauds of the week. And Houston said last 10. So that was the fraud of the week. The Chargers. I had the Packers, the Cowboys, or the Patriots written down because I don't think that anyone really believed that the Chargers were.
He said he might not be able to stick with it because they lost 10 guys to COVID.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna pick the Chargers here. I'm not. The Texans haven't done enough for me. They're 5-9 against the spread. It's not like they play tough late in games. They maybe have one or two backdoor covers. So if you look at that fact, they've really gotten the shit kicked in every game this season. They're 3-11. They beat up on the Jaguars twice. So that's the type of team that the Texans are.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a little bit of a laugher. That's just me, though. So Chargers get back to their winning ways this week. Now we move on to another game that's very big, according to the Dallas Cowboy fans and the Green Bay Packer fans and the guys that are on top of the NFC right now. The Bucs are going on the road. They're favored on the road, -10 on the road. Cam Newton, who has gone on record already today, or not today, but this week, saying he's not worried about certain people. He's only worried about himself, blah, blah, blah. Cam Newton might go down. I don't care if Cam Newton made it to a Super Bowl. He might go down as the biggest fraudulent, overhyped quarterback I've ever seen because he's really
he's got an MVP too. I wouldn't say he made it in this league. It's just it was a very short-lived time for him. He didn't have a huge shelf life.
I don't know. But as far as this number, I'm gonna throw it to you first. Do you think the Bucs can cover this on the road against Cam Newton and the Panthers?
Yes, I said I'm fading Cam every week. I'm also think it's a shitty spot to get Tom Brady coming off of his first shutout since 2006. The whole meme about him breaking the Surface Pro. Yeah, Tom Brady. I'm going to bet this one heavy. I can guarantee you that. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what the books say. I don't care where the movement is. I'm just going to take the Patriots. I'm going to take the Bucs. First half, Tom Brady over, team total over, Cam team total under.
We're going to make some bread on this game. I'm going to probably roll with all those bets too because it's just Cam Newton.
I'm okay losing. I'm okay losing that because I feel so confident about it. So if I happen to lose on this one, power to you.
Yeah, I was going to say it's just I don't know. It's going to be an unfortunate turn of events for a guy like Cam Newton who wanted to talk shit on the wrong week. Antonio Brown returning, according to JD. So that's going to be a thing. Now, look, I know that Godwin's out, Fournette's out. You know, like they did lose some weapons, which is maybe contributes to this number. I just think Brady's going to make some more stars. I guarantee you. I'll tell you right now. Bold prediction right now.
Ronald Jones 3 touchdown runs.
Well, I would love that because that would send me to the fantasy championship without a doubt. My big bold prediction: Scotty Miller 2 touchdowns, 2. Scotty Miller. So give me that. So if there's any props out there, go for that one. I like that a lot. I'm sure it's going to be some serious plus money.
I'm pretty sure in the very last fantasy advice that I gave, like it was really getting bare for the free agents. It was like week 9. And I said, go out and pick up Ronald Jones if he's available.
I stashed him. I had him. And there he was. And there he is in my starting lineup. Moving on to the Bengals and the Ravens. This has to be one of the games of the week as far as not only just playoff implications, but division implications. Now, look, you see the Steelers, they got to go on the road. They're going to go play the Chiefs, right? So they got their hands full. The Browns obviously got their hands full on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon with the Packers. Now, you look at this game, both of these teams know that. Both of these teams know that their counterparts in the division have some serious tough sledding, right? The Ravens are going on the road. Lamar Jackson has not practiced all week, but does it even matter, right? The Bengals are favored by 3 in this game. This is the game that separates which team is actually a contender or pretender. Shout out to Joe Matarese. This is the team, like the winner of this game, to me, will more than likely win the AFC North, right? And maybe even give somebody a nice run in that wild card game, right? Joe Burrow was snubbed of the Pro Bowl. I'm not saying that he's going to take this personally, but he's at home. I like this game for them. I like this offense. I like Jamar Chase to get back on the right track. Give me the Bengals here -3 against the Ravens with Huntley at quarterback or Lamar Jackson. Doesn't matter to me. I'm taking the Bengals at home.
Yeah, if the Bengals win this game, it's almost guaranteed that they will end up winning the division. They would have to have an epic collapse down the stretch because that would be their second win over Baltimore, and then they'd have a game lead with only 2 games to play. They would have to lose both, and Baltimore would have to win both to pass them because Cincinnati would have the tiebreaker. I think Baltimore knows that. They're desperate. They honestly really could potentially have 2 more wins or at least 1 more win, depending how overtimes in these games would have played out. Baltimore they also have some really, really tight wins that could have easily have been losses. So Baltimore's been in so many close games this year. One of the close games one game that wasn't close that they were in was the last time they played Cincinnati. I don't know if things are going to go much different in this one. You would like to see Baltimore come out and play a lot better than they did in the first game because of the desperation. But because of the whole Lamar might not play thing, Tyler Huntley, I know everybody's high on him, including myself. If Lamar plays, I think that the point spread, no, I should say this. If Lamar plays, I think that the Ravens will keep this one close and possibly win outright. If Lamar doesn't play, the Bengals are going to beat the shit out of them. So is it an actual thing that Lamar might not play?
Yes. He hasn't practiced all week.
Yeah, but is it because he's just not practicing and they say he's probably going to play? Because they were saying that he was probably going to play in the Green Bay game.
All right. Well, make your pick.
All right. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. Fuck it.
Okay. So you're sticking with me on this one. So Sturch and Gooch go with the Cincinnati Bengals at home here, regardless of, well, it's not really regardless, because I guess on Sunday, when you make your bets, Gooch, you might change your mind on this one based
off. I'm very, very on the fence here. This was tough if you couldn't notice.
Fickle with this one. All right, a game that really doesn't matter. The Falcons have kind of played themselves out of a playoff race. But the Lions on the road, 2-11-1. They're getting 5.5 here. I don't know. I mean, this one again, another kind of let's see. Go back on the last game. CBS says not looking like Lamar will play, so that could be something. Bengals made them look silly in October. Not going to let it happen again. That's very true. There could be some kind of revenge in there. I get it, but I'm still going to ride with Joey B. As far as this game's concerned, I don't know, man. There's not much to it. There's not much context to it. I don't know. What do you think, Gooch?
I'm just going to take the Lions because they've been covering every single week.
Yeah, that's
time to stop fading the Lions. They're 9-5. They're a cover machine this year. The Falcons have a little bit more talent, I guess you could say, but they looked like shit against San Francisco. The Lions looked really good. Maybe this is a trap. Maybe not. I'm just going to take the Lions. They're getting points. Fuck it.
I don't see any trap definition here.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is a bad game.
When you're seeing a team like the Lions come off of a big win in terms of they beat it's not a big win, a big upset. People might be riding a little high on Detroit, and that's what I say trap game, because you get them with like the best taste in your mouth you could possibly have about a Detroit Lion team is right now. So when I say trap, it's,
Jared Goff scorching hot, says Kyle Kerms. Also coming in, Goff got snuffed out of the Pro Bowl. I don't know what you're sniffing, but there was no snuff job there, bro. And my brother coming in saying it's -6. So the lines have been moving. We do. Hey, Dan, just so you know, this is a nice little plug for you, buddy. I know you probably use DraftKings and you probably use FanDuel, but if you want to bet with our lines, you go over to BetMGM. There is a promo code that you can use and bet with us. You get a risk-free bet, so you can make a 15-game parlay and not lose a dime, but you can get a whole bunch of money. But we're gonna get with Detroit on this one. Me and Gooch are at my +5.5. Now, to obviously the game of the week,
probably both going to lose that one.
Yeah, probably. The game of the week that we're all looking forward to more than any other game on the docket is, in fact, yes, the New York Football Jets at home taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, because the loser of this game more than likely will be, I say more than likely, things can happen in the last 2 weeks, but more than likely will be on the clock, maybe, because the Lions decided to, tie a game. So maybe there's a different story here. But the bigger story is it is Trevor Lawrence versus Zach Wilson. So that's kind of cool, I guess. The Jaguars are playing shitty. The Jets are playing shittier. But yes, again, Scoop coming in. This is the game of the week. He is the resident Jaguars fans here.
This actually is one of the most important games of the week for what you said earlier. It really is. It does have a lot of implications.
Now, if you're in a situation like this, Rob, obviously, I don't ever believe in tanking. I don't believe in that stuff. I don't think players tank. I think they play to their best ability. But in a game like this, do you think there's anything like that going on here as far as like not playing as hard, or
definitely not from the Jets
vanilla
side.
Offense?
I'll give Robert Saleh a little bit more credit than that. I can't speak on what's going on over there in Jacksonville because I have no idea what they're about. So I'll pick the Jets based on the fact that I know that they're going to actually come out and play hard.
I'm going to go with the New York Football Jets as well. And the reason being is that I think you're going to find out, and this is going to be bold, but you're going to find out that Zach Wilson's a little bit better of a quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. I know that Zach Wilson struggled all year long, but when you put these guys head to head and you give them a little bit of a cupcake defense, you're going to see their skills showcased. And I think Zach Wilson might wind up being the better guy down the road. I'm not saying right now. I'm just saying overall, maybe the Jets do not have buyer's remorse here. and give us the Jets to win this game outright. Well, outright. I'm going to cover the number. But the Ben Wexler going with the Jags. JD coming with the Jags with Urban Meyer's ghost. Well, they didn't do that last week. So anyway. Oh, yeah. No Salah either. Jesus Christ. I still like the Jets. Maybe
I don't like either of these teams.
So. I don't like either of these teams either. Let's round out.
Take the under.
Yeah, let's round out the week. All right. We usually do this game second, but I waited and I said, you know what? Let's keep it all the way at the bottom. America's team, the NFC playoff berth clinched Dallas Cowboys are going back home for the first time in what seems like a month because they've had 3 straight road games. They're going to go take on Tyler Heinicke, the return of the Mac. Tyler Heinicke coming back. The Cowboys, I don't like it. I hate it. You know I don't like these things. The Cowboys are favored by 10.5 at home. The Cowboys defense has been playing all world. We all know this. The offense still, you put up 21 points against the Giants. Nothing really to go nuts about. I'm sure Hawaii Mike will have something really good to say about that line, considering that he's calling me out on saying that the Cowboys putting up 21 points against the Giants is not as good as, I guess the Rams put up on Seattle. I don't know. He was just
I'm going to say 2 things about that. 1, great point in Hawaii Mike. 2, Dave, that's what happens, bro. If we want to really sit back and go back on our shows, we could contradict these. There's dozens of times where we're both being contradictory. I probably did it twice on this episode. So Hawaii Mike, it is a very good point. Dave, explain yourself on that. No, I'm kidding. I'll explain it for you. Dave is a Cowboys fan, and that's why that is what it is.
Truth.
We wear that on our chest, so it's fine.
Kyle Kerm's coming in saying, I think we need to prepare for the fact that Washington might beat us here. Okay, well, I would get on that train, Kyle, had this spread not been the way it is. If they would have gave like the Cowboys 6 or 7, I would say like, all right, you know what? That's possible. But remember that last game, guys. The Cowboys had that game in hand. That game was over at halftime, So for them to kind of give it back and Dak Prescott throwing the pick 6 and everything that kind of developed in that game, there was 5 minutes left in the game and the Cowboys were still up big. So it really took to the end for us to sweat it out. The Cowboys have to come back here and win this game, but not only win this game, show everybody that they can get back on offense. And I think that this offense needs to show out. Everybody's healthy except for Tyron Smith. Nobody really knows what the hell's going on with him. Somehow he made the Pro Bowl, though. Shout out to how dominant you are when you miss half a season, you still make the Pro Bowl. But Dak Prescott needs a get-right game. I thought it was going to be last week, but I also didn't know it was going to be 35 degrees and swarming winds. So maybe that was a thing. I don't know. Dak's hearing the critics. That's why I think Dallas needs to show out this week, and I think they cover that number and get to 11-4. And officially, actually, before, I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a potential way, and it's not just the Eagles. One of like 5 things have to happen, and the Dallas Cowboys can not only have already locked up a playoff spot, but they can win the East without even playing. I said that last night when I was recording the 2-Minute Warning podcast on another network. But that's being said, give me the Cowboys to win big and kind of send everybody home on Merry Christmas vibes for the Cowboys. Gooch, I know where you're going. You picked the Washington football team to win 12 games this year. I'm assuming you're still riding that horse, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I just don't believe in anything that they're doing offensively. Dallas Cowboys defense is playing a lot better than anything that I could say about Washington football team. You talked about quarterback situation. Heineke's still out?
No, he's playing. He's back.
He's playing. Fuck it. I'll go with the football team then.
So because of the legend known as Tyler Heinicke.
No, it's just like I when I was looking at it, I'm like 10.5. Look, Heineke's at least a gamer. I think he's going to show up in this one. He's going to do his thing scrambling around the pocket. I don't think Dallas is going to lose the game, but 10.5. I like that. I like that half a point.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't like larger spreads like this, especially within division games. Just like when Dallas went on the road and they were the favored over the Giants, I didn't like that. I mean, yeah, did they cover it? Sure, they did. But like, I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels. My brother knows. We're Cowboy fans. We get it. All these games with 10.5 spreads, this is coming down to a last-second field goal here. You know what I mean? So, Greg Zuerlein's going to be lined up, or whoever the hell the freaking Washington football team kicker is. He'll be lined up to either make or miss. I don't know. It's already a stressful holiday season. This is just going to be an add to the stressful holiday season. I do like the confidence, Dina. Dallas wins and covers. I appreciate that as well. Ben coming in. Dallas kills Washington 35-14, but he also has a Dak throw up emoji. And I know what that's an attest to, that Ben did no good in fantasy knowing that Dak was his quarterback. But I'm here to tell you, Ben, that I'm in the final 4 of my league, and Dak Prescott has been my quarterback every single week except for one when he sat out with an injury and the bye. So for 2 weeks, I don't even know if I won those games or not. I can't remember. But Dak Prescott has led me to a Final Four berth. And you know who's on the other side of the bracket, Gooch? It's me against Evan. You know Evan. So it's me against Evan.
I think I'm playing Ben in a league in the Final Four right now where I have Dak. So maybe Dak could actually exact some revenge directly for you, Dave.
So here's the bracket. Ready? Me versus Evan. Danny, my brother, versus Jen Jones, who always seems to be in the thick of things when it comes to fantasy football. The girl knows what she's talking about. And then now, if me and my brother win, we're gonna have an all-Sturch championship in the Ford's Fantasy Football League for the first time ever. So we're both hoping for it. Obviously, you don't know the line.
What took you so long? I've played my brother in the fantasy championship like 38 times, but we also do multiple leagues, and we are fairly dominant in fantasy regards. So I'm definitely not, you know me. I'm a lunatic with that shit. And this is more or less like I used to do like 15 leagues a year, same with him. So it was like a very, very we have a lot more opportunities to play each other in finals. So, but congrats. I hope Danny takes you out though, because he's been riding my advice all year. So I would like to be like, hey, Danny, you got a little rub for me. Hey, why don't you throw me a 50?
Instead of tipping the commissioner, he's going to tip Chris.
Yeah, tip me.
I can see it. I can definitely see that.
That would be ideal.
Here's $100. Give 75 to Chris. How you doing? It's like, what? Oh man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So again, this is listen here, Dave. Ready for this? You're making fantasy football history, starting 5 Cowboys a week and be where you're at. Huh? Gooch, you said it wasn't sustainable.
You know what I said? You know what I said? It's gonna bite you 1 week. One of these weeks,
it's gonna, a bunch of weeks. I finished
one of these weeks is gonna bite you, and it's gonna be this week. Go, Danny.
No, I'm not playing Danny yet.
Oh fuck. It'll be next week. Next week.
I got to beat Evan. He's not even going to be coherent to enjoy the damn thing. So, anyway, with that being said, it has been another banger, that's right, of an episode of the Chop Sports Daily. We want to thank you guys for adjusting with us and watching every single week or every single day. The football Fridays are always one of my favorite days. I actually said that, right? And I say, like, I like picking the games more than I like talking about them. I like Fridays more than I like Mondays.
Yeah, because you always have egg on your face one way or another on Monday, because we made our picks on Friday and we see like Dave's usually like 6 and 8. So he's like, oh, I hate Mondays. And I'm 7 and 9.
Was 10.5 for the Dallas Cowboys. The spread was 10.5. Go Daniel Sturch. I'm rooting for you. So all of a sudden the world is turning on me. They're all rooting for Danny. I knew this would happen as soon as this kid learned how to comment. The world would shift, just like my mother, who has loved him more the entire time. And that's a fact. There's nothing that I'm more convinced about more. Here we go. We got a play here from Kyle Curbs coming in. Take Ball State plus 5.5 on Christmas Day in the Crampton Bowl.
You see how I write whenever Kyle drops in a pick, I write it down, even though I am subscribed and I will be able to see his ticket.
Well, shout out to Kyle for everybody's big win. It was the biggest bet I've placed since I've joined up with the Sauce Network. The biggest bet I won yesterday on my favorite college of all time now, Miami of Ohio.
Kyle went out and got the merch. I'm actually looking forward to see Kyle's YouTube videos, because I know he went on a nice little run and he's had a couple hiccups in the past couple of days. And I know that the Packers will probably be on this YouTube video. And I know he's trying to fade them, but he just simply can't find an edge for the Browns. So if he does fade Cleveland or fade Green Bay, then we know Kyle's just a troll hater on me. But I don't think he's going to do it. We all know he's definitely fading the Cardinals, though.
Could possibly be challenge accepted. We shall see.
He's not going to do it. He would have been in the comments talking crazy shit if he really thought
he's keeping this one.
No, I know. I'm starting to get a read on Kyle. You know what else I know about Kyle? That I love when Kyle doesn't have the Knicks on his ticket, because I feel like that's the other thing that when he puts them as the bet of the week, I'm like, I'm just going to fade this, because yesterday I knew it. I knew it. I just should have faded the Knicks.
He does that just to make Dina happy. Like,
no. He does not. He does not. I just think, here's what I think. I think that there's certain teams, when he's going and he's handicapping a Packer game, he wants to find any reason that he can to go against them. But he simply, if he can't, he's not going to. He's not going to break character. But when he can, turn the knife a little bit, he will. And that's how it's like the reverse psychology with the Knicks, where he goes and he looks for reasons to bet them. And when he can't find them, he doesn't. But he finds them a little easier with them New York Knicks.
Both of tomorrow's games will be on YouTube with Kyle dressed as Santa Claus. Kyle, listen,
well, it's
man.
better than him dressed as whatever the fuck he was going to dress as if the football team beat the Cowboys 2 weeks ago.
He called that a lock. It was a lock. The blocked extra point kept him away from a dress, and all of a sudden he's fine. But
well, his only guarantee was today was the Jaguars beating the Jets.
Yeah, Ben. To you too, my friend, and everybody who's been rolling with us every single day since we've gone live. I believe the live show started in like May, but then like the YouTube thing has been going every single day. Danny coming in. Merry Christmas to you both. Great show once again. Yeah, man, it's been fun. It's just been another great episode of the Chop Sports Daily. And of course, on behalf of myself and Gooch, I do want to wish everybody out there a very, very Merry Christmas, a safe one. Enjoy the family, enjoy the holidays, enjoy everything that it comes with. Enjoy the eggnog, enjoy the booze, enjoy the food, enjoy the football.
Enjoy the Packer game, baby. Go Pack, go.
Enjoy the Packers. Enjoy the Dallas Cowboys, since they are, in fact, America's team. And they will wrap up your holiday weekend on a Sunday night with a big, big win over the Washington football team. So with that, for Sturch and Gooch, this has been another episode of the Chop Sports Daily. And we'll see you guys right back here on Monday. Whoop. There it was.
Oh.